Have you ever looked at someone in their 90s and thought, how on earth do they still look so full of life? Well, here's a little secret. I'm 92, I still drive my own car, I live independently, and I haven't had so much as a cold in over 30 years. No medications, no hospital visits, not even the flu. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you it's not genetics, it's not luck, and it's definitely not some miracle cure? The truth is, I've followed 5 incredibly simple habits every single day for the past few decades. No fancy equipment, no complicated diets, no gym memberships. Just small, intentional actions that anyone, at any age, can do. And guess what? They work. These 5 daily habits have kept me sharp, strong, and happy well into my 90s. And no, you don't need to wait until retirement to start. In fact, the earlier you begin, the better your results. So if you've ever wondered, how can I stay young without chasing the next wellness trend? What really matters for long-term health? And how do I future-proof my body and mind starting today? You're in the right place. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know the 5 habits, I promise you'll want to start doing them today. 1. Morning movement. Wake up your body before you even get out of bed. You know that feeling when you first open your eyes? Your body feels stiff, your brain is foggy, and you just want 5 more minutes. I used to feel like that every single morning, especially when I hit 60. I'd sit on the edge of the bed, my knees aching, shoulders tight, and my balance wobbly. It felt like my body had forgotten how to wake up. One morning, after nearly tripping on my way to the bathroom, I decided something had to change. That's when I started experimenting with morning movement. Not a full workout, not yoga, just simple motions while still lying in bed. It sounds almost silly, but it changed everything. Here's what I do. Before my feet even touch the floor, I stretch my fingers wide and make fists a few times. Then, I wiggle my toes, rotate my ankles in slow circles, and do the same with my wrists. I take a few deep breaths, roll my shoulders gently while lying flat, and finally, I give myself a good full body stretch, like a cat waking up from a nap. This entire routine takes about 90 seconds, and it works like a charm. It's like flipping the on switch for my body. My joints feel looser, my head clears up, and I don't feel like I'm dragging myself through the morning anymore. I remember telling my friend Mary about this. She's 74 and had been complaining about her stiff hips and groggy mornings. I walked her through the routine over the phone. The next week, she called and said, I actually danced to the kitchen today. I haven't done that in years. We both laughed, but it was a real moment of joy for her. And it's not just us old folks. My grandson, who's only 25, started doing a quick version of this after hearing me talk about it. He told me it helps him focus better before his long days at the office. So it's not about age. It's about tuning into your body before the chaos of the day begins. Even researchers at the National Institute on Aging have pointed out that gentle movement upon waking improves blood flow, boosts energy, and sharpens mental clarity. And I can confirm, it's the easiest habit I've ever adopted, and one of the most powerful. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone or leap out of bed, try this. Pause, breathe, and move gently. Your body will thank you. And over time, you'll wonder how you ever started your mornings without it. 2. The golden drink. A simple drink that does wonders for your health. If I could point to one small habit that has made a huge impact on my health over the last 30 years, it would be the golden drink. No, it's not something fancy or expensive. In fact, it's one of the simplest things I do. A warm glass of water with lemon, turmeric, and a pinch of black pepper. I started this habit when I was 62, right after recovering from a nasty cold that knocked me out for almost 2 weeks. I remember sitting at the kitchen table, still coughing, when my daughter brought over a handwritten recipe she got from her yoga teacher. "Try this, Dad," she said. "It won't hurt, and it might help." That morning, I mixed it up skeptically. But over time, I noticed something strange. I didn't get sick again, not even a mild cold, for years. And my joints? They felt looser. My energy in the morning? Steadier. I didn't feel like I was dragging my body through the day anymore. Let's break it down. Lemon is packed with vitamin C. It wakes up your digestive system and supports the immune response. For me, it was like giving my metabolism a little nudge each morning. Turmeric, the bright orange spice you might use in curry, is a natural anti-inflammatory. For aging joints, this is gold. I used to get knee pain after gardening. Now I can spend hours outside and feel just fine. Black pepper might seem odd in a drink, but it plays a critical role. It boosts your body's ability to absorb the benefits of turmeric by up to 2,000%. Without it, turmeric mostly passes through your system unused. I've shared this drink with friends over the years. My neighbor, Tom, 78, had been dealing with gout flare-ups. After just a month of drinking this mixture every morning, he told me his flare-ups became less frequent and less intense. My granddaughter even adds honey and drinks it iced in the summer. Turns out it's pretty refreshing too. And here's the thing, it's not a miracle cure. It's a message to your body every morning saying, "I'm investing in you. I care about what goes in first." That intention alone sets the tone for healthier choices throughout the day. To make it, just squeeze half a lemon into a mug of warm, not hot, water. Stir in a quarter teaspoon of turmeric and a dash of black pepper. Stir well, sip slowly, and feel the difference. If you start this tomorrow, don't expect fireworks, but give it a few weeks. Your joints may loosen. Your energy may rise. And maybe, just maybe, you'll join me in saying, "I haven't been sick in years either." 3. Walking. The underestimated power of simple movement. If there's one thing I wish more people would take seriously, it's walking. It's so simple that we tend to overlook it. But walking, my friends, is a miracle in disguise. I've made a rule: a 15-minute walk every single day, rain or shine. I don't wait until I feel like it. I go, whether I'm tired, sore, or even grumpy. And I never take my phone or headphones. It's my time to reconnect with nature, with myself, and with my breath. Let me take you back about 20 years. I was 72, and one winter, I slipped and slightly injured my hip. It wasn't serious, but it slowed me down. My doctor told me to rest. But after a week of sitting around, I felt awful, stiff, foggy-headed, and even a little down. So I made a deal with myself. I'd go out every day and walk, just for 10 to 15 minutes. Slowly, gently. At first, it was hard. My body protested. But within 2 weeks, something amazing happened. My hip felt better. I started sleeping more soundly. And my mind felt clearer than it had in months. That little daily walk became my anchor. And it's not just me. My friend Susan, 81, started walking every morning with her dog when she retired. She swears it's what's kept her cholesterol low and her spirits high. "It's my therapy," she says. "I've worked out more problems on those walks than I ever did in therapy." Science backs this up. Walking lowers blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and even increases life expectancy by up to 39%. That's not small. It also lowers your risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and dementia. One study from Harvard even showed that just 20 minutes a day of walking can significantly lower the risk of death from all causes. But here's the magic. Walking doesn't feel like work. It feels like living. You see people complicate exercise, spinning bikes, boot camps, gadgets that beep and buzz. That's all fine if it works for you. But walking? It's free, it's accessible, and it's profoundly human. When I walk, I watch the seasons change. I notice the birds returning, the flowers blooming, the trees shedding leaves. It connects me to time and life in a way nothing else does. And sometimes that connection is exactly the medicine you need. So if you're feeling stuck, stiff, or just out of sync with your body, try walking. No pressure, no pace. Just one foot in front of the other. That's how I've kept moving for over 90 years. And I'll tell you a little secret. Some of my best ideas, most peaceful thoughts, and clearest decisions, they came while I was walking. 4. Protein at breakfast. Fueling your body for the day. When I turned 60, something just felt off. I was eating what I thought was a healthy diet, whole grains, fruits, low-fat foods, but my energy was tanking by noon. I'd forget where I put my glasses. I didn't feel as strong when lifting grocery bags, and even getting up from a chair felt slower. That's when my doctor asked a simple question that changed everything. How much protein are you eating in the morning? Turns out, I wasn't eating nearly enough. As we age, our ability to absorb and use protein declines. That means we need more protein, not less. Especially in the morning, when your body is breaking the fast and looking for fuel. So, I swapped out my old breakfast, usually toast with jam or a bowl of cereal, for something new. 1 boiled egg, half a cup of Greek yogurt, a small handful of walnuts, and a few blueberries. Nothing fancy, but it packs in around 25 grams of protein. The results? Within 2 weeks, I noticed real changes. My energy lasted well into the afternoon, my mind felt clearer, and my muscles didn't ache as much after my walks. It wasn't just me noticing either. My daughter came to visit and said, "Dad, you look more alive these days. What are you doing differently?" I told her about the breakfast shift, and now she's doing the same, and she's only 38. I also have a neighbor, Joe, who's in his 80s. He used to skip breakfast or just have coffee. After he had a fall last year, his doctor emphasized the importance of protein, especially in the morning. Now he starts every day with scrambled eggs and a protein shake. He says he feels more stable on his feet and even walks without his cane some days. Science supports what we've discovered. Research from the Journal of Nutrition shows that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal maintain more lean muscle mass, recover faster from injuries, and experience fewer hospitalizations. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need bacon and steak every morning. Simple high-protein options like eggs, yogurt, nuts, or even a scoop of plant-based protein in a smoothie can work wonders. Breakfast sets the tone for your entire day. If you start with sugar and carbs, you'll crash by mid-morning. But if you give your body what it truly needs, protein, you'll be surprised at how strong, clear-headed, and energized you feel. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that toast, ask yourself, where's my protein? Your body and your brain will thank you. 5. Mental tuning. Preparing your mind for the day. Here's something I believe with all my heart. How you begin your morning mentally will determine how the rest of your day unfolds. That's why every single day, without fail, I spend just 3 minutes tuning my mind. It's not meditation. It's not prayer. It's something simpler and, in my opinion, more practical. I sit on the edge of my bed, close my eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and picture the kind of day I want to have. I don't just think about it, I imagine it vividly. I see myself walking through the day with calm. I see myself reacting to stress with patience, speaking kindly, smiling often, and feeling strong and capable. I even picture myself tackling problems with a clear head and ending the day feeling grateful. Some might call it visualization. Others might say it's a mindset practice. For me, it's simply mental tuning, like tuning a musical instrument before you play. I started doing this when I was in my late 60s. At the time, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. My wife had just passed, and every day felt heavy. I woke up already tense, dreading the hours ahead. One day, I read a story about Olympic athletes who visualized their race in detail before ever stepping onto the track. It struck me, if they can train their brains for success, maybe I could train mine for peace. So, I started this little ritual. Just 3 minutes. No phone. No distractions. Just me and my thoughts. Over time, the results were astonishing. My blood pressure came down. I started sleeping better. And, perhaps most importantly, I felt less reactive to life's little frustrations. A friend of mine, Helen, she's 88 now, started doing the same thing. She told me she used to start her day reading the news on her phone, and it would make her feel anxious before she even got out of her robe. Now, she takes a few quiet minutes each morning to breathe and imagine herself moving through her day with joy. She swears it's helped her feel more in control of her emotions, and even improved her digestion. Science backs this up, too. Neuroscientists have found that the brain doesn't distinguish much between real and vividly imagined experiences. When you visualize something clearly, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it. Over time, this helps you build resilience, lower stress hormones, and even boost immune function. In a world that constantly pulls our attention in 1,000 directions, this tiny habit is my anchor. It costs nothing, takes no effort, and yet it shifts everything. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone or turn on the TV, I invite you to try it. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Picture yourself at your best. Because when you start strong in your mind, your body follows. Conclusion: the power of small habits. So, there you have it. 5 small habits that have kept me strong, steady, and full of life at 92 years old. Morning movement, a golden drink, daily walking, a protein-rich breakfast, and a few quiet moments to tune my mind. None of these take more than a few minutes a day. But together, they've changed everything. Here's the truth. You don't need a gym membership, expensive supplements, or hours of free time to stay healthy. What you do need is consistency and a little intention. These tiny habits act like compound interest for your health. At first, you barely notice the impact. But over months and years, they add up to something powerful. And no matter your age, whether you're 30, 50, or 80, it's never too late to start. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. If there's one message I want you to take away, it's this: small actions done daily can completely transform your life.